Today's topic in today's show is going to be about war zone, bloodying in the streets, constant fighting over the smallest things. We're just going to talk about that and that bad energy today. So hang tight.
You tell me it's a man's world, play the rules and play fool. Break rules until we major. Blaze up, getting with hoes through my pager. What's raised up? Commence the money making tactics. It's getting drastic. Niggas got the automatics. My fingers on the trigger, tell the Lord make way for another straight thug nigga. I'm sick of getting buzzed, looking for some love from the homies. Cause shorty wanna be a thug. Say he's gonna be. Say he's gonna be. Say he's gonna be. Shorty's gonna be a thug. Say he's gonna be.
Yo, we're back to the show. Shorty wanna be a thug. I'm watching YouTube, watching Facebook, Instagram, all of those social media sites. And what I noticed on there is, every single person that gets into an argument, well, not every single person, but 89% of the people that gets into arguments on social media, the first thing that the next person does is pops out a phone. They're gonna film it the way everybody's gonna see it. The fight may be over someone stepping on someone's shoe. The fight could be over any small little thing, but the fight is going to be, and it's going to escalate. Then people don't think about what's going to happen after the fight. All they know is they want to get in, and the people that are gangs that are jumping one person, and if that person survives, and even if he dies, none of this is good. None of this is going to be great for the family. There's a family that's going to be hurt, and there's another family that's going to be hurt, because there's so many things that happen. You got to think, and when you think, you have to take in consideration before you create these actions, because when you create these actions, there's going to be consequences behind these actions. There's no way you're going to be able to just create this fighting scene. There's no way you're going to be able to create this fighting scene. That's like, you're going to start something that could last a lifetime through your generations and the next generations and the generations behind you. And that's how people become enemies and not being friendly, because of their family, and their family have been feuding for so long. And the feud may have been over a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a piece of equipment that they borrowed. It could be anything. But what we're talking about is out in the streets, there are straight bloody wars with people getting jumped and people get beat. Some people deserve to get beat up. But as a parent, what do you tell your kid? Do you tell your kid to go out there, and if you see someone fighting, to jump in, help, stomp the kid out, stomp him till there's no tomorrow? When my neighborhood growing up, I seen it all. It was pain to see all of this type of stuff. The people in my neighborhood, if you came to that neighborhood, you would definitely leave out on the stretcher, and sometimes you might not leave. If you're a good athlete, you possibly can get out of there with a couple of black eyes, busted jaw, broke nose, and a couple of broke ribs if you're an athlete. But if you're just not an athlete, you're probably going to die or be in the hospital or be handicapped or paralyzed. This didn't happen several times in my neighborhood where I grew up at, and that's why I know about it so well. So 3 shooters, 6 teenagers were shot. And this was caught on video camera. And I'm going to just play this little clip for you. So watch this clip, and we're going to check it out and see what they're talking about.
Died from his injuries on Monday. 12-year-old Zion Charles was also hit by one of the bullets and died on scene. It is heartbreaking, but also alarming. And you're about to see surveillance video showing the shooters, who appear to be celebrating and all smiles, just minutes after causing pure chaos on Saturday night.
11 Live's Cody Alcorn is live along the 17th Street Bridge. And Cody, it seems like those young people had no remorse at all.
Ron, I'll be honest, to see these young men laughing and carrying on is downright disturbing. You're about to see it. And to know that Zion was with them. His mom admitted that he snuck out of a friend's house. He came here to the 17th Street Bridge, Atlantic Station. He met up with his buddies, and then this group left this 12-year-old to die. Just minutes before shots were fired on Saturday night, surveillance video captured this group walking along 17th Street. APD says the young man with the black and gold hoodie is one of the shooters. The teen in all yellow at the bottom right is 12-year-old Zion Charles, who will soon be gunned down. Walking just feet behind him, APD says, is a second shooter. You see him again on a different camera. Minutes later, APD says 15-year-old Cameron Jackson rolls by on a scooter.
Somebody else's name.
I mean, this is becoming the norm to kill somebody. Don't think nothing of it. Think it's just like the video games, Call of Duty and all those games have really played a major part in a lot of this action, along with gang violence and just following different people in their life that they seen gang bang and thinking it is cool. Well, when you wind up in jail, or you wind up in the hospital, or you wind up losing someone that's close to you, there's a trickle-down effect. And I want everybody to listen to this, and I want you to know, when action like that is created, there is a trickle-down effect, especially when your energy is pushing towards that, and this is what you really want, and you push yourself to make this happen. You got 5 or 6 other friends with you, and you jumping and you whooping on one individual. That doesn't make you a man for 5 or 6 individuals to whoop one person. That doesn't make you a man. I could see if the person was bullying your friend and he was a big time bully, and you guys wanted to show that you wasn't afraid of him and you jumped that guy to get him off of your friend. But to just go kill somebody for no reason, go and jump on somebody for no reason, creating chaos for simple matters that are this small. Those matters that people are fighting for can't be too big. I mean, these kids are too young to have something that great or substantial that would happen in their life. I mean, I'm talking to the parents. Excuse me. Parents, know what your kid is doing. And I know it's kind of hard to stay in tune 24/7. But when you're checking up on your kid and you letting them know that you're checking up on them, and you're telling him all the values of how to value his life, the right people to pick to run the streets with. And as a teenager, there are so many kids in one school, and if you admire somebody or you like somebody, you'll normally hang out with that person or hang around that person or trail behind that person, one or the other. What we need to do as parents is talk to our kids, tell them how important it is to have a clean record, how important it is not to go out there and disturb somebody else's life. Because when you kill somebody, you're going to shake up the whole family. Everybody in that family is going to be hurt. You never know how they're going to be looking at you. You never know what they're thinking behind your back. You never know the people in the area of the circle. But I guess the youngsters nowadays, they just don't care. Well, whatever happens, happens. I mean, they're even popping pills now that they know will kill them and are still popping them. It saddens me to know that America has become this trash. But it's been the trash since the beginning of time. But when it's hurting and I'm in this world and I'm seeing this pain and this hurt that are traveling through states, through families, this pain is a very unusual pain. Everybody's not going through it, but I'm talking to the ones that are going through it. Let's get some relief. There's a baby born every day. the mothers and the parents of those kids. Let's inject positive into their brains. I know there's some mothers and there's some fathers that walk around that wish they were gangbangers when they were kids. They liked it, the gangbanging activity, and they taught their kids how to gangbang because they wasn't in the gang, or because they wanted to act as if they were tough and if they were like this hardcore blood or this hardcore crip or this hardcore, SA member or whatever. These parents are teaching these kids because the kids learn what they see. If you wake up every morning and if you got 15 dudes around your house, you're smoking weed, everybody's got a gun, and you're talking about the activity that just happened last night, it's always the same. The kid is going to hear it. The kid is going to hear this. And guess what? When he hear it, it's going to be embedded into his brain cells. It's going to be embedded into his bloodline. It's going to be his genetics. It's going to be something that he's going to want to do. That's even like some of the guys back in my time wasn't able to buy a nice car with rims and a system. They had to go get a job, and their job didn't pay that well, but they had to wait 20 years in order to buy a vehicle, to buy rims and a system to put in their car. So 20 years later, they're living 20 years behind, because what comes with that is the attitude, the macho-ness, showing off and wanting people to see you in this light. And there's a lot of people do this. I'm here located in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the Vague Show. If you want to be on this show, contact me, 702-960-9690. That's 960-9690. Contact me if you want to be on this show and you have a topic that you want to talk about. If you have a teen in the house that you want that teen to learn values and morals of this life. Because I tell you, in this life, there are three things. There are people that watch, there are people that do, and there are people that don't do. So you figure out which one you are. We're going to get a little bit more back into this news clipping of the surveillance video suspect of the guy laughing after shooting and killing 2 kids near Atlantic Station. So we're going to play a little bit more of this video. But before we play the video, songs like this was a song that the man who wrote the song, which is Tupac, was very upset. But some individual will take this song and they'll take this song and they'll think that this is them. They'll think that this music is actually them, and they'll go out and commit whatever they heard in the song. Some songs are good songs, some songs are not good songs.
They say that's Cameron, that's our opposition. That's when shots rang out.
Chaos followed. 17th Street was locked down, but the shooters managed to get over to the Arts Center MARTA station across 85. Cameras picked up the group. You see the suspect in the blue hoodie walking down the stairs, followed by the young man in the yellow and black hoodie. And as they wait for the train,
They also seem to be celebrating, making gestures and talking about the shooting.
all smiles and handshakes, but what you don't see is their buddy Zion. APD says he was lying along 17th Street taking his last breaths. But his group, who his mom says he snuck out to meet up with, continued on.
During the train ride, they antagonized different customers. They flashed gang signs.
Take one more good look. While APD says this guy is the primary shooter, this teen also opened fire and say they believe the third shooter is among the group. And again, to know the chaos and the fear that these teens put into so many people right here on the 17th Street, and then to watch them act as if nothing happened is alarming. And it really makes you question, is a curfew really going to stop these teens and gangs from committing more violence?
Yeah, that is a really good question there, Cody. I know that you haven't been here that long. However, you always have your ear to the ground. Speaking with community members, what are they saying about this shooting? Any planned response?
Well, as you know, they want change. They say it has to happen. They say we are failing these young men and women. In fact, we know there is going to be a Peace in the Streets anti-violence walk right here on 17th Street Friday night. It's expected to start around 7 o'clock. It'll start at Atlantic Station and go down 17th Street. So again, we'll have much more on that at 11alive.com. And of course, we'll be out here Friday night for, again, this Peace in the Streets anti-violence walk scheduled for 7 p.m. here at Atlantic Station, Ron.
Okay. Cody Alcorn for us tonight. By the way, the family of Zion Charles is speaking exclusively to 11 Alive about what happened that night and the lingering questions they still have. One of the main concerns is how the situation was handled after the crowd of kids was kicked out of Atlantic Station and the shooting that took place shortly thereafter.
It hurts to know that my sister tried and lost her child, but she's out even at the time that she's grieving to try to help somebody else.
Well, this story continues to unfold since we first broke it Saturday night for the very latest.
As you can see, these activities are very harsh and painful.
I am a nightmare walking, psychopath talking, king of my jungle, just a gangster stalking, living life like a firecracker, quick as my fuse, vendetta to death, that's the colors I choose, red or blue, cause of blood, it just don't matter, sucker died for your life with my shotgun scattered color, the gangs in LA will never die, just multiply color.
Yep, they say the gangs will never die, but families, mothers, fathers, talk to your children. If you can't talk to them, send them to me. Send them to me. Let me talk to them. Let me give them an eye-opener of some of the knowledge and the wisdom that I have through this life. You just tuned in to The Vague Show. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you share this video. And for the youth, hey, listen, you guys have a bright future. You have a lot to live for, and we could definitely use you in this battle on this earth. We're fighting the wrong battles, ladies and gentlemen. We don't need to battle against ourselves. We are fighting the wrong battle. I like to tell people all the time, and this helped, and it's also worked. When I see two black people get into an altercation over something this small, I like to go up to them and say, you've only learned one thing from the white people. You learned how to beat up Negroes. That's all you learn. It's how to destroy another black person. That's all you learn. I like to tell them that because it makes them think, it makes them use their brain. My chess program, I teach this in the chess program, critical thinking. You have to think fast. And I know it's kind of hard to defend yourself when people are coming after you, but I'm talking to the people that are going after these people. And I know a lot of people think they're hard and they think that they can, macho themselves and bully people around and none of this stuff that I'm saying even matters. Well, it does matter. And just think about if this happened in your family. And if this is like a revenge thing that you want to do to attack someone that attacks your family, think about how your family felt. Some things you have to let things go and let them go completely away to where they just are vanished in the air. Think about that. All right?
You know where you can go, on my stage and tear my show, psycho